Alright Owen, I'm going to show you how to do the MacBook, give you a few tips, a few pointers. First thing, we'll take off this back plate. If you can, try and align the screws so you don't lose any. Some of them are longer than the others, sometimes they're not either. It's usually these top ones that are. It's not too difficult to do it. Pretty much holding the screen on, you've got 3 screws on either side at the top, and then a little bracket holding it on as well, which I'll show you in a second. Just get these screws out. And Ben told me to make sure that you have your anti-static on all times. Especially with these, we don't want to be making any mistakes in replacing it. Alright, so you should be able to just pry this back cover off. Then you've got all the components inside. So next thing you want to do is try and disconnect the battery. Let's try and find where that's located. On this one, it's right here. So get your little tool, or you can even use your nails sometime, and just pry that off there. Make sure the battery's disconnected and nothing else turns on. So you've got this cable up here, which is for the screen LCD. Unplug that one first. Then remove these little rubber feet here, and you'll see the screws underneath that hold the screen on. So go ahead and take those 6 screws out. Again, sometimes they are different lengths as well, so try and keep them where they came out from. Then on either side as well, you've got that little bracket I was talking about here. So there's one of those on either side, which hold the screen in place. Take that out as well. So it's got the little bracket there that holds it on the screen. So also you've got this little cable here that runs along. You want to disconnect that one as well. It just pulls straight out of the back. And then it's just an adhesive holding it onto the little fan. Then you've got 3 antenna cables right here. Disconnect them carefully as well. So it's similar to the antenna cables on the iPhones near the charging port. So once you've got all them off, that's everything holding the screen on. Then what you can do, if you open the MacBook a little bit, you'll feel it come loose at the back. And you'll be able to move it like that. So then you've got the old screen there. So 3 antenna cables, 1 more cable there, and 1 for the LCD on this side. I'm going to go ahead and grab your new screen out. So the new screen will come like this. So just remove this tape. the foam. So this screen comes with the metal plate on it as well, with the light. So you can see you've got those 3 antenna cables again, the other, what's that for? Other cable there, and then your LCD connecting cable over here.
I think it's for the backlight. Yeah, we'll work out that.
Try and open these little hinges a little bit if you can. No.
Yeah, I'm going to pull one while you pull the other.
Alright, we'll try it without it. No. Got to try and get these open a little bit. You don't want to put pressure on the LCD. It's not really a good one to show then, is it?
So what?
Yeah. Yeah, so just get them open a bit. Bring your MacBook back over. So the screen will be this way on here. So go ahead and sort of just line that up into the frame. You'll see it sits in there nicely. Then while it's like that, try and grab your screwdriver and just chuck one screw in, just to try and hold it in place. You don't have to do it all the way up too tight right now. So just do it up enough. And now when that's in there, you can bend the screen back down and close the lid properly. So then you got it closed there. So watch this cable over here where the antennas are. You've got a little bracket there that has to go in with those screw holes. So grab those screws, make sure that you're in that bracket. So leave them a little bit loose at the meantime as well, because we might have to adjust the a little bit later on. So put the other two in on this side. So it's not too difficult really. You can go and put these little brackets back on to hold the screen in place. Just again, leave that a little bit loose for the meantime. So So make sure the way that you put them back in, they're hooking over that metal bracket there. So you can go ahead, look down the iMac at the sides, and you can see whether the screen needs to be pushed over a little bit. So while it's down like that, you can run your fingers along the side and just feel if it's sticking out of either the sides or the front. And if it is, just give it a little bit of a movement. And just make sure those are loose enough so you can move the screen back in place. Yeah, that's better. So once it's in place, just hold it there while you do these screws up. Do them up just till they stop. Shouldn't need to apply too much pressure. Once those are done up, go back and tighten up the bracket screws. Then go ahead and connect this LCD cable back up. Very similar to the iPad LCD cables. And make sure that cable sits flush down in there. So this side's done now. Remember to put that little rubber piece back on. So with this side now, you can go ahead and connect these 3 antenna cables. Try and keep note of what direction they are. They will come together tied up, so they'll be in order of where you have to put them. I'm not 100% sure what these are for, maybe the Wi-Fi or... Then you've just got this one cable left. So try and move these cables down a bit. Wrap this cable back in underneath this rubber. Then you can plug it in. So sit that down, put that rubber back on over it. Try and hide the cables a little bit so they're out of the way. Put rubber back on for that side. And once you've done all that, you make sure everything's tightened up and plugged on correctly. You can connect your battery back up. Remember to put this sticker over just so nothing shorts out. And you can grab your backing plate. Just make sure that cable's away from the fan, otherwise the MacBook's going to overheat. Try and get that down. So maybe just try and put one screw in each corner first, just to hold that backing plate on.
Screen Fixed Brisbane. Sorry, Screen Fixed Brisbane.
So once you've got those corner screws in,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can go
so were
and
you after
test the
Apple
screen
or
to make sure it's
the
all
generic
working.
Screen?
Flip it back over.
Yeah, sure. So if you want the Apple screen, you're looking at $139.
Power button.
That part comes with a 2-year warranty. And then if you were happy to do it with the aftermarket generic screen,
We got sound.
$99. And that one comes.
We got the Apple
with a
logo.
9-month warranty.
And the screen's all on. So it's all working good. Once that's all done, you can shut it down.
So if you bring it into us, we can generally do it whatever you wait. So it normally takes
Make
about
sure
30 minutes.
those sides are still lined up all good. If you did it properly before, they
20 to
should be
30
fine.
minutes, somewhere in that range.
Then there's little
if you want
clips
to bring it today, we can do it today or
underneath
tomorrow.
here as well, so you can just push them down and it'll clip back in. And then you can just
I'll be
finish
here
putting
about
the screws back
5:30,
in.
But if you can get them before
And you're
5,
all done.
Just
Give me a call
around
if you have
5,
any problems
that'd
or
be
if you're not
great.
sure about something. I'll give you a hand.
So we're at 200 Mary Street, and then we're up on level 16.
So as you can see, it's not too difficult, but it's just a couple of things you have to watch in there.
No worries. Hope to see you soon.
Make sure
Cheers.
it's all done back up properly.
See ya. Bye.
Just remember to try and organise your screws so you know exactly where they go back in. Unlike someone else with me. Yep, once they're all screws are all tightened up, you're right to go. Ready to give back to the customer.
I'm gonna laugh if this video's not recording.
Yep, it's all good.